Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we're diving into Chapter 189 of The Greatest Estate Developer. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's get right into the chapter. Beneath the ocean's shimmering surface, we find Lloyd face to face with the fractured jewel of truth. His eyes narrowed in thought, calculating every possibility. Lloyd thought silently, analyzing the artifact. This is a material that can't be obtained anymore. There's no way to repair it using conventional methods. Would compression work? Determined, he raised his hand and activated his ability. Lloyd murmured, "Simulation mode." The system reacted. A visual overlay formed around the gem. He frowned. Ugh, it'll break at this rate. But what if I slowly release mana into it, so that it gradually seals shut? Then, his eyes lit up with realization. He gasped softly. Oh, it'll work. It'll take time, but it can be repaired. But just as hope bloomed, a sudden system window interrupted his thoughts. System notification voice. Due to slight structural changes, there may be cases where normal operation isn't possible. Lloyd gritted his teeth, frustrated. TCH, there's still so much I need to figure out. But whatever, I still have to fix it. He straightened up, focusing again. We'll need to delicately release a consistent amount of mana at a precise angle to compress it. Only two people can do this, me and Javier. Suddenly, a memory from the previous chapter surfaced. Lloyd's angry voice echoed in his head. "Who's your friend, you arrogant bastard?" And Javier's quiet, apologetic response followed. "I apologize. I overstepped." Guilt twisted inside him. Lloyd groaned and slammed his forehead against the jewel of truth. He berated himself, smacking the gem repeatedly. Ugh, I'm such an idiot. I'm so full of myself, geez. Why couldn't I just let it slide like I usually do? He hit it again. I actually did something awkward and frustrating for once. Idiot Lloyd. Then, pain. He winced and clutched his head. UGH, it freaking hurts. I thought it wouldn't hurt since it's Soma. Another memory broke through. Javier's voice shouting in his mind. Stop trying to shoulder it alone. We need to face it together. Back to present, reflective tone. Lloyd whispered to himself, his voice low and humbled. Yeah, maybe I've been thinking about this all wrong. His gaze softened. Javier, he's the real hero, the real protagonist. He clenched his fist. He's the one who resolves the crisis, who saves everyone. His thoughts raced with desperate hope. If only this damn restoration phenomenon of fate would stop. I could focus on earning merits before the king of hell arrives. Then everything could be resolved perfectly. Maybe, just maybe, I could change the ending. And then, system window, calm prompt voice. Would you like to view the ending spoiler? Lloyd paused and nodded. Yes. Future timeline, calm but tense tone. The future played out before him. Inside a quiet room, future Lloyd sat alone on a bed, his face troubled but composed. He looked around, murmuring to himself, "What is this?" The territory is intact. As expected, telling Javier the truth changed something. Suddenly, a voice came from beyond the door. Javier called gently. "It's Javier. You had something to discuss." Future Lloyd replied without hesitation. "Yeah, come in." Javier stepped into the room. Lloyd glanced at him awkwardly. "Hey, are you angry?" Javier tilted his head. "Why are you suddenly asking that?" Lloyd scratched the back of his head. "Well, I did yell at you yesterday. Basically told you we weren't friends." Internally, Lloyd was shocked. Huh, what the? It's the next day already. The ending is tomorrow? Javier stood silently for a moment before speaking calmly. "If it's frustrating enough for you to say that, then I understand." Lloyd looked away, then cleared his throat. Ahem. Anyway, about what you asked yesterday. The method the jewel of truth revealed to stop the restoration phenomenon of fate. He paused, confused. Huh? I am. Javier blinked. Huh? I am. Lloyd's eyes widened slightly. I still haven't told him yet. He took a breath and spoke. I'm from another world, but I'm also a protagonist. Javier nodded. I see. Lloyd explained further, voice grim. Which means having two protagonists in one world makes everything go haywire. So apparently, one of us has to die for the phenomenon to stop. He clenched his jaw. Obviously, I'm not doing something that stupid. But I think. Future scene, sudden panic and shock. In the future room, Javier drew his sword. Both Lloyds stared in horror as he stepped forward. Javier spoke, determined. Once the phenomenon stops, earn your merits quickly. Without hesitation, he drove the sword through his own chest. Both Lloyds screamed. Future Lloyd shouted in horror, running forward. No, you idiot. What the hell are you doing? Are you crazy? Pull that out now. But Javier smiled gently. Please take good care of this world. Protagonist. And just like that, he began to glow and vanished completely. Not a trace remained. Future Lloyd dropped to his knees, trembling. Then, with a heart-wrenching cry, he screamed out in despair, his tears falling heavily onto the floor. Back in the present, Javier stood behind Lloyd. He called out softly, Master Lloyd. Lloyd remained lost in thought. Yeah, you were always like this. Master Lloyd. But Lloyd didn't respond. His mind was still echoing with Javier's selflessness. He clenched his fist. Because that's the kind of person you are. I absolutely can't let you die. Then, forcing a grin on his face, Lloyd finally turned. He joked, trying to lighten the mood. Javier, you're not sulking just because I got mad earlier, right? People get cranky when they're tired. So try to understand, okay? Think. You need to find the solution, one step at a time. Javier paused, deadpan. That's not really the kind of thing that the person who just yelled at someone should say, though. Lloyd smirked. But I'm the superior here, so I can say it, right? Shift in tone, urgency returns. Javier straightened. More importantly, Artanis has detected an abnormality in Namarin. Unidentified dark mana is rising near the makeshift stakes vicinity. Lloyd raised an eyebrow. Summoning a Hell Knight this time? He pondered quickly. Should we rush in and stop the black magic? No. Even if a Hell Knight is summoned, it's not really that much of a threat. Then he smiled. A mischievous grin full of cunning. Wait, this might be an unexpected opportunity. Javier blinked. What? What do you mean? Lloyd flashed a full-toothed grin, his eyes glinting. Starting now, we're kidnapping the Hell Knight. And that's where chapter 189 ends. Lloyd's plan sounds insane as always. Kidnapping a Hell Knight. What could he possibly be thinking? Make sure to stay tuned for chapter 190, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Pages with Sidra. See you in the next one.